Let's first talk about the SNB shock move. And you're no stranger to the field because you've got a lot of experience in the FX world. What was your first reaction when you saw that, and what is the impact on New Zealand?
Well, I wasn't really surprised that ultimately it happened. I mean, if you look at the long-term success rate of central banks trying to protect a particular level, it's been spectacularly unsuccessful. I think what the real surprise was just that the Swiss made this ultimate move to walk away completely at one time. Yeah, so it obviously has an impact. It's pushed up, the Kiwi euro rate, and that makes it a little bit more difficult for our exporters. But overall, our economy is still very strong. We think we'll grow at about 3.25% every year for the next 3 years, so about 10% over the next 3 years. So we're still confident we can navigate that even with a higher exchange rate.
Do you feel they should have communicated? Or is it in their right to do this, to get out? They would have been on the wrong side of the trade.
Yeah.
Had the ECB come through with some type of quantitative easing, some saying that they know more even.
Well, they may do, but I think they booked some pretty big profits that they had the opportunity to use those to offset the obvious losses that they've got. But look, in the end, it becomes a point of whether you can actually continue just to protect a level at 120 that they were, and I think they could see with the ECB easing program that wasn't going to be possible, and so they ultimately took that step. But as I said, I've seen it before. I remember when the Bank of Japan tried to protect dollar yen for a very long period of time, the whole way down it was just never successful strategy.
But they're still going to have to step in again, though, aren't they? I mean, aren't they going to have to intervene to keep some type of a stable currency, or is it going to level out? Are we going to see a new equilibrium?
Well, it's made life a lot more difficult for the Swiss, but ultimately their fundamental economy is still quite strong. The issue really, I think, for Switzerland is like the rest of the European countries. What we are seeing, I think, is the US is much stronger than people think now. We're seeing a lot of activity out of the United States, both in terms of tourists coming, their buying activity, and Asia, I think, is still quite strong. I think there's a concern that China's somehow going to fall over, but I don't think that's going to happen there. They'll keep control of their banking system, but it's still Europe that's got to deal with their fundamental issues.